whether people like to admit it or not, Iman Gadzhi continues to remain one of the best that we have within the info product space. He's shown us time and time again how to print, and in today's video we're going to be doing a deep dive into his YouTube micro niche strategy that's helping him actually scale his new offer, being consultant.com. Now, before we go into the numbers, we need to understand that consultant.com was originally built by Sam Ovens. Of course, Sam Ovens sold it to a student and went off to build school, which is a great platform you can actually use to build communities within your space, and a lot of people are making life-changing income there. But what we can see, Iman Gadzhi purchased this domain and is doing everything in his power to scale it to make sure that he's making a lot of profit. Now, in regards to the numbers and the breakdown, we need to understand that he's generating well over 500,000 per month from just 63,000 subs. Now, also realize that he's been in the YouTube space for a very, very long period of time. So he already has credibility and, of course, has a bigger personal brand than a lot of people that, of course, are new to the space and want to actually get to his level. But it doesn't mean that he can't implement it for himself, and I'm going to show you exactly how. He says in his videos that he's spending 2 hours on average per week, and as a result, as we can see over here, he's delivering around 1 to 2 videos per month. In fact, he hasn't even released anything this month, right? This is all from 2 months ago, 3, if not 4 months ago as well. So he's doing around maybe 2 to 4 videos per month, and this is enough for him to generate him this revenue, as we can see over here. Now, his target audience and his ICP are people within the info space that are already making around 20k per month and are looking to scale it beyond that, maybe towards 100k or even further. Now, the pros of actually targeting these people is that, number one, they're highly qualified, they have the spending power to actually afford his program, and they're also experienced, which is very, very good, meaning that, as we're going to see later on being demonstrated, he doesn't have to actually do all the fluffy content. He goes direct into the source, into the value that someone can actually have. And that's the reason why he's been able to scale to this number very, very quickly. And the key thing about speaking to highly qualified people is that they can actually implement the method. It's not like other offers that he's done in the past where he's speaking to less experienced people and majority of the people that come through are actually unqualified. This is completely different. It's a highly sophisticated strategy. Now, in regards to the main focus, as I've told you guys time and time again, and I'm probably going to cover it in almost every single video, you need to have top of funnel content, middle of funnel content, and bottom of funnel content. Top of funnel content is to gain awareness and actually bring a lot of people to your channel. The middle of funnel content is to educate prospects on exploring solutions and also aiming on building trust. And of course, bottom of funnel content is to actually create the urgency and make sure that people are ready to buy. Now, what Iman Gadzhi actually does is that he doesn't actually focus on top of funnel content. Again, this could be because he's been in the space for a long period of time. If you don't know who Iman Gadzhi is, then in reality, all you need to do is just a quick Google search or YouTube search and you'll see a bunch of content from him, already building credibility within the space. Now, he focuses on middle of funnel content and bottom of funnel content. And the main thing about this is that he's leveraging YouTube in order to actually do so. What do I mean by this? This is what we call a value-first approach. It's easier to build trust when you actually do this. It's easier to build credibility when you do this. And it's free value and free game instead of the hard sells that we used to see in the past, especially because we're in a trust recession. As we've seen over time, people aren't necessarily trusting people, meaning the amount of effort it's actually going to take in order for you to actually get the same results and actually get people to purchase is way higher than before, right? So he understands that. And it's so important that we actually see what the greats are doing and implement this into our own businesses, because he's doing this despite the fact that he already has trust within the space. He already has credibility within the space and he's able to print regardless of whatever method he actually does. Again, he just wants less friction. And the reason why this works so well is because he's told us time and time again, he was able to make, I believe, 20 million from a YouTube video from doing this exact same strategy, a single YouTube video. So if he was able to do that from one YouTube video, it's no wonder why he's able to now do it from a whole YouTube channel, from the micro YouTube niche strategy. Now, separating the content, we can already see that the middle of funnel content, as we can see here, again, is just to educate and bring awareness to build trust as well with his clientele. So for example, he's telling sophisticated business owners, as you can see, the $500 or 500k mark is over here. He's telling informational coaches that, look, YouTube is on easy mode, especially for info business owners. He's telling us, for example, how our favorite gurus are broke. And the reason why I believe this is a very, very powerful video over here is simply because he actually details in this video how, for example, I'm not necessarily saying he's saying specifically people like, you know, Sam Ovens, etc. But he's saying people are like, or the greatest that we find within the space are talking about revenue numbers, not profit numbers. And he specifically talks about profit numbers, which actually separates him from his competition. So he gains instant authority rather than actually competing with everyone else within the space. Now we can then see he funnels everyone to his bottom of funnel content. How he does this is that in every single video, you're actually going to see at the bottom of the description, let's say, for example, this is the video over here. You will then see at the bottom of the description, after, of course, the title, you'll see a link to another video. And this another video will lead you directly to what we call bottom of funnel content instead of direct to a landing page. He does it in some videos, of course, but the reason why he does it to, for example, the bottom of funnel content is because, of course, it builds, again, that more credibility and it qualifies the leads further. So by the time they're ready to actually book a call, it makes it easier for his sales team. Now, we can see in this bottom of funnel content is a bit more like what I like to call boring content like what I'm doing right now, where you're going through a Loom video or you're going through, for example, a whiteboard presentation showing people exactly how you're able to actually deliver the results, get the numbers that you're talking about, etc. And people love that because it actually builds, again, the credibility within the space and shows people exactly that you know what you're talking about, as simple as that. And as we can see, that all of this content, it does considerably less views than on his main channel. For example, 3 weeks ago, he posted something on his main channel, and as we can see, he was able to actually get almost 500,000 views on that single video, as you can see, which is 26 minutes long, right? So his main channel always prints anyways, but it's for an entirely different offer, right? The business channel is for a more sophisticated audience. Always remember that, right? So when you're not looking at the fact that he's getting less views, it doesn't necessarily mean that he's making any less money. In fact, he's probably making more money from this business channel than he's making from his main channel at the current moment. But we'll probably do another video and actually look into that just so I can actually show you guys why I believe that's the case. Now, the key thing about this funnel is that he understands that all leads aren't necessarily bad leads, especially if they're watching this type of content, which is like what I like to call boring type of content, especially if you're watching hyper-specific niche content like what he does on this channel, right? So Iman Gadzhi understands that to a T, hence why he has 2 funnels. Now, before, the 2 funnels used to actually be a case of on the channel, he would actually just be showing you exactly how he's able to print the exact same amount of cash, and he was doing similar offers to other people within the space where they'll show you the micro niche channel strategy and actually help you build it out, help you script the videos, etc. But that funnel, from what I've seen when I was actually researching for this video, is actually gone and he's changed it completely. So bearing in mind, this is for people that aren't necessarily qualified for his main offer, people that are less than 20 to 30K per month, right? Now, it used to be the micro niche funnel, like I mentioned before, but now what he's actually doing is teaching people how to scale utilizing AI and also utilizing WAP, which we can see is a platform that is a direct competitor to, again, Sam Ovens' school. Now, some people call that a business play or a chess move. Again, I'm not really here for the politics. I just understand that Iman Gadzhi knows exactly what he's doing and you should definitely learn from him. But again, the WAP offer is for less qualified people that are new to the biz ops space. They want to learn how to actually make some money and actually print some cash. So as he's saying, these are people that want to hit, the 10K, for example, per month, around that. Then by that time, he's able to then scale you into his main offer because he's already made you a lot of money. But the main one that we're actually diving into today is actually for the more qualified people, the people that are hitting 30K per month. Plus, I want direct access to Iman and his team. Now, what you actually found when you go to his YouTube videos, for example, here, you can actually see that it says book a call for 8-figure license, now known as Quantum. So when you click on it, what it then does, it takes you to this page, which we can see is consulting.com. Now, it talks about building a disgustingly profitable info business, and we can then see that is a highly sophisticated landing page that is actually built to, again, attract the ideal client profile and get rid of all the people that aren't actually willing to pay the amount that's required for this informational product. These are the different things that come within the said offer. He's talking about, for example, doing things like SLOs, which is self-liquidating offers, where you're actually getting paid to acquire customers rather than, of course, paying for the customers, etc. When we keep on scrolling down, we can then actually see in detail who specifically he's trying to speak to. He's talking about people that want to make FU info money. So these are people that actually want to hit the 7, if not 8 figures and above, like he's been able to achieve. People that actually need to understand global wealth and tax optimization. Small boys and small people within the space have nothing to do with that. Do you know what I mean? So he's being hyper specific to the people that he actually wants within his program. Outside of that, he understands exactly what his ideal client profiles are actually looking for. These are people that want to exit completely. They want to make the type of money that, again, you don't necessarily need to be seeing after you've made that type of money. As you scroll down, you get more insights of what you're actually going to get on this offer. For example, licensing the systems to repeat and actually scale past the results he already has, being surrounded by like-minded entrepreneurs instead of entrepreneurs, right? Having direct access to Iman Gadzhi. Now, this is very, very valuable because he is a high-level entrepreneur. This is the main, in my opinion, selling factor for this, right? Because in all of his other offers, you don't actually get direct access to Iman. What actually happens is that he'll give you maybe an e-product and actually send you to some of his coaches, for example. Now, outside of this, he's also connecting you with what we call A players, like-minded people again, and other features that makes it exciting to actually be a part of, especially if you're a high-level entrepreneur. Outside of that, he has, of course, the testimonials. This is very, 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 very important to actually have, because at the end of the day, if you don't have testimonials, then it makes it extremely, extremely hard in order for you to actually scale to the point where you actually need to. And we keep on seeing things within the funnel that actually builds the credibility. It looks very, very good as well. And the people that designed this landing page made sure to make sure that it's very elegant, very sleek, and matches his brand colors as well, because again, everything that you do whenever it comes to this informational space, it needs to match. It needs to actually make sense and actually hit the target audience you're talking to. So these people want luxury, he's giving them luxury. And you can build funnels like this utilizing platforms like Framer, Webflow, and different platforms alike that allow you to build funnels. Now, after you click that you want to apply right now, he then sends you over to where you're going to fill out some information for the demo call. So that you see some availability. As you can also see, if you were to go over to the website and actually click apply now, you can see that they don't leave more than maybe 1 or 2 days in advance. This is probably to decrease the level of no-show rates on the call and also to make sure they actually attend the call. Now, this is also used to qualify and disqualify people on the page as well. So after, of course, your name, your email address, of course, your phone number as well, they want to make sure to connect with you on your Instagram handle. They want to also understand where you're based. This is probably to connect them with other like-minded entrepreneurs in the space. And a very important thing for them is to understand exactly what their current profit is, because if it doesn't hit, for example, their current criteria that is actually required to actually make it into the program, of course, they disqualify you and send you into a different type of funnel entirely, right? Whereas if you make it, you're able to proceed. What makes you interested? These are just typical things that the closer is going to need on the call. Of course, what's the ultimate goal for your business? Again, this is information for the closer, etc. And once you hit confirm, you then get put into the traditional workflow, which is over here. For example, a post-booking call video. These are literally just nurturing assets. So the power of nurturing assets are literally to prepare, for example, your client for the call, make sure that they're actually ready to actually attend the call, make sure also that they've built further trust and actually see the testimonials, see and understand what they're going to get when they enter the program as well. So that's very, very important. And after this point, if you do not show up into the call and into the process, then you're probably going to get banned forever, unless, of course, you change out the details, etc. So it's highly advisable not to do that. Now, after the closing call, you get put into the rest of this flow, which you already understand and I've covered in other videos. Comment down below if you want me to make an even more detailed video on exactly this breakdown and how to actually make it efficient, increase the show rates on your calls, etc. And that's practically it. So guys, if you gain value from this video, make sure to like it. I put a lot of effort into these videos, as you can tell. And also comment down below any results you're able to get from implementing this into your funnel. Now, if you want me to implement it for you and you want to work with me and my team, and make sure you're scaling from 0 to 10K plus per month, then me and my team can definitely help you. Just make sure to book the call down below. I'll be on the call and actually see you there.